Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. As I say from time to time, I really do truly appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out of your day and chilling with me, talking Raid Shadow Legends. This has been a video today that I've tried to make like 7 times over the years, and I've never made it, but I'm gonna do it. I promised myself I'm actually gonna upload this one because honestly, it's a difficult topic to discuss because I'm playing an active role in it and I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I am a hypocrite in a lot of ways. So I think maybe, just to be totally honest with you guys, maybe a little bit of this video is guilt, especially coming off of 3 shard opening videos in the last week for Assassin's Creed characters, okay? The truth is, I really do enjoy shard opening videos. I really enjoy making that content. I think it's fun. I think it's easy as well for me, frankly. But it's a difficult topic, right? About the monetary practices of Raid. And you guys probably abstractly, or maybe acutely, you're aware of all this stuff. But similar to the reasons I don't judge somebody for going into a casino, but I also feel like it's the responsibility of people who advertise the casinos or whatever, my role in this, right? My media role in this entire system. I think I do shoulder a little responsibility on talking about the odds of the casino. The house always wins. How manipulative the casino can be. And then armed with that knowledge, if then you guys decide to go to the casino, come on over, right? We're playing roulette over here with Ashy Poo, right?
17 black. You can stop. Get go. The house always has the edge, Roy. The house is edging.
So it's difficult to talk about monetization in Raid because I'm in some framing, I'm part of the problem. So in today's video, what I want to do, just one time on this channel, I want to speak about all the tactics that games, not just Raid, games in this genre use to get you to spend an uncomfortable amount and you not even realizing it, right? They thrive on this. There's a reason that a game with a relatively small player base like Raid compared to some of the, the behemoths in the space can still have massive earnings because of how much each individual spends on average in these games. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I love Raid despite that, which I'll get to as well in this video, because like I said, how can I on one side of my mouth, and this is what prevents me from making videos like this, how can I on one side of my mouth say, you know what, this is a predatory game, guys, be careful those shards, and then the very next video be like, I've got $9,000 of shards, It's tough, it's tricky, but at least I've given you my, right or wrong, I've given you where I'm coming from here, okay? So this won't be as boring as it sounds. Don't be scared away by some text, but I want to go over the top 10 ways that a games like this can get you or gotcha, even if you consider yourself, and this is the tricky thing, we all individually consider ourselves informed. We all think, that's not me, that's the other people, right? So first of all, for me, my history, right? I started, some people don't know this, but I started my main channel, Clash with Ash, almost 12 years ago. Look at those thumbnails. Ooh, they're sexy, huh? Almost 12 years ago. Wow, that's rough. That's rough. And I was a spender in Clash of Clans. I was a spender in my mobile games. I probably spent around like $100 to $300 a month, which for me was a decent amount of money at the time, But I did it as entertainment, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? People spend money on all kinds of stupid stuff, right? And I'm not one to judge what you spend your money on either. However, I wasn't always who I am today. Things changed, not just with Raid, but I covered Clash Royale after Clash of Clans, and slowly but surely as my business, my YouTube channel started to increase, I started to find it beneficial to me in numerous ways to spend more and more and more, right? But there's some downstream, I guess, ancillary impact and effects on my audience that I do shoulder some responsibility. If I'm being totally honest with you guys, a little bit of guilt, So that's why I'm having this video, not to make you guys stop playing Raid. I think Raid's a great game. I really do. I wouldn't be covering it if otherwise. This is not a sponsored channel, right? All right, guys. So here are the top 10 ways that Raid is getting you, without you recognizing it, to spend more money than you want to inside this game. Number 1 is a slot machine loop. This is the variable reward schedule. Rare's core engine is randomized rewards with rare jackpots. Ain't that the truth? getting rarer and rarer every day with this champion pool, right? This is the same reinforcement schedule that slot machines make slot machines sticky. That's unpredictable wins feel more compelling than predictable wins. This is why I'm flabbergasted that they show the names before the champion images now on shard pulls. That maybe the next one, tension, is the product. That's the shard pull mechanism. That's the uncertain outcome plus big emotional spikes when you do hit that legendary gold. Chapter 2, limited time window that creates FOMO. That can be shard countdown offers, events, shard events, right? Event windows tied to summoning or progression. Do I want this? It doesn't become a question of do I want this? It becomes a question of if I don't do this now, I lose the chance later. It's a FOMO, the fear of missing out. The just one more with progress bars and milestones. Progress bars are psychological trapdoors. Once someone is 70% of the way to a reward, quitting feels like wasting effort. This is perfect because of fusions, right? Fusion and fragment summons. If you've already put a lot of energy into a fusion or fragment summon, there's a reason they try to offer you oftentimes the rest of those fragments, right? And there's a reason that people end up spending towards the back half more of fusions and fragment summons. It's the just one more. It's the time sunk fallacy right there, right? All right, the sunk cost trap. That's time, identity, and prior spending. Prior spending especially. So once a player has invested hundreds of hours and built a roster and joined a clan and maybe spent money already, stopping feels like admitting loss, so they just keep going. This is one of the most financially dangerous loops because it's not about fun anymore. Sometimes when people are like really nasty in the comments, Ash, why are you playing this stupid game? I hate this game. This game sucks. I'm so mad. Part of me, even though I can empathize on a human level, especially, if there's something big going on in the community, some big drama, there is part of me, I'm not going to lie, that just says, then why, if you're not having fun, then why are you playing? And this could be part of the reason. Anchoring in pack architecture, right? There's a big one here. And so they show absurdly expensive packs, and it makes the other offers seem reasonable. We've all noticed this in our games, right? Shard event, we'll get one really lousy offer, and it makes psychologically, even if you think you're not prone to these things, it can make the others feel more reasonable. Use cheap introductory offers as a baseline to make later purchases feel normal, right? Near miss effect or sensory engineering. Loot boxes and gacha pulls are often wrapped in suspenseful animation and audio to mimic casino feedback loops. The almost got it moments that keep you engaged even when you lose. Almost maybe pulling the legendary when it's not the one you want, but you're like, hey, I got a legendary, right? The reveal pacing, the glow, the build-up, the ritualization of pulling on stream, even if you don't stream, right? Pity, mercy, and loss mitigation that drives spending. Systems like a Pity or Mercy feel consumer-friendly, but psychologically, they're also doing something else. They justify continued spending. Same thing with the 15x, the 20x, or the 25x. We've all been there. You've gotten a legendary that's not the one you wanted. Oh, it's 20x now. You've gotten another legendary that's not the one you wanted. Now it's like, dude, I've invested all these shards, but now I have my highest odds at 25. It feels like they're doing you a favor, but really they're trapping you into spending more in a lot of situations. Social pressure, clans and competitive comparisons. Well, clan versus clan, right? Clan versus clan in PvP, all the emphasis on the arena, live arena, quests attached to live arena. You feel the pain. It's a zero-sum game. You either win or you lose, right, in the arena. And that losses can entice you to spend more because nobody likes losing deeply on a human level, right? Event stacking and cognitive overload. This is a big one too, right? You can get decision fatigue when multiple events are overlapping and you don't even know it. And also the impulse purchase to simplify the overload. Listen, there's a billion events going on right now. I can tackle them all just by spending $50, right? The sense of urgency because everything is happening now. Everything is happening at once. And then the big one, obfuscation through currency's real money dissociation, So the more steps between dollars or wherever you're from, pounds, euro, wherever you're watching from, and the reward, the less painful the spending feels. Dollars become packs, packs become gems, gems become shards, and shards become a chance at a champion, okay? All right, so now let's talk those are 10 things that you should all know about, right? Because I think that when you know, then you can enter the casino because you're aware, right? You want to be aware of these things. And I think that, honestly, to be a good custodian, at least here on this channel, this little ecosystem, this little part of the raid community, I at least feel better about arming you guys with the knowledge. But now I want to talk a little bit about me. All right, let me turn on an arena, a nice free-to-play arena team to really fit the theme of the video in the background here, just to give you something to look at here, right? So why do I even pull shards then? Listen, if it's so bad, then why the heck do you even play this game? Moreover, why do you spend in this game? Why aren't you free to play, right? So listen, the way that my life works is I don't have time to give what some of these tremendous creators give in terms of the free-to-play creators, meaning I don't have the time to allocate to this game. And I think a lot of you guys might be in the same boat who spend, right? Is like, you want to strike a balance in some of my entertainment budget. I'm not out there, you know, whatever, going to the casino, for example, right? So I do spend on the game to save time, because time is also a resource, right? I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm just trying to explain reality. But there's a lot more to it on my end and it should be pretty obvious, but I'm not spending just to obtain champions when I make a shard opening video, right? When I do any spending in this game, I'm not. And it's important to state that. I'm spending to create moments and to create memories, right? Because I think it's really effective, and people love, there's a reason people love shard opening videos and stuff like that, right? It can be fun. The pulls are not the product there. The champions, whether you believe it or not, are not the end goal for me when I go into a shard opening video. Sometimes when I don't pull a good champion, or when I pull a champion that I hate, I think in the back of my mind that it's gonna be a great video. And that's my main goal when I make shard opening videos, you know? So the pulls aren't the product, right? The reaction, the tension, the payoff, the disappointment, the emotion, the redemption, the arc, that is what I'm going for when I pull shards. I would still spend on this game, even if I didn't make content, you know? Because again, I look at it as entertainment, and I think adults should have the autonomy to spend money how they want to, especially when they're armed with all the information that we already went over. But I also want to be realistic about me. I'm getting paid for this, not by Raid, but I'm getting paid by AdSense, right? By the Google ads or the YouTube ads that you guys see on these videos. And shard openings, they usually just compensate me for what I spent, you know? That's how I look at it. So yeah, sure, I get champions, and that's fine as well, but that's not the sole reason that I do it, and I'm sure most creators would probably say the same thing, you know? I'm investing in episodic entertainment on a daily basis that people watch, and they react to, and they emotionally participate in the comments and whatnot, right? So I don't look at it as, I don't want and intend you guys to look at it as somebody gambling. I want you to watch a live performer where risk is like the narrative, you know? Like, that's what I'm going for when I make content. So I'm not a helpless spender. I'm not a whale who's lost control, but at the same time, I do need to do better. And what I want to do for you guys, what I want to do in the future, right, is I want to it's little things. I want to be upfront on every single shard opening video from here on out on what the odds actually are that I actually get these champions. People don't like this sometimes, but I also want to say how much I spent on these videos as well. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, I'm no longer going to re-up at the end of my videos. I think that's really, really awful. And honestly, it didn't strike me until I was preparing for this video. What do I mean by that? I mean that oftentimes in videos, I'll be like, I just did it on my last shard opening video. I'll be like, I'm just gonna get one more batch, and I come back with 40 new shards. Never gonna do that again, because I think that's really demonstrating, and I don't know, it's kind of like justifying. Do you guys see this with that Discord on the screen now? Do any of you guys get that? How do I disable that? Anyway, I feel like that justifies that behavior in others who might not be in the same position, who certainly might not have all the context that I just shared with you guys about the reason why I do everything, and also armed with all the knowledge on how games like this work. Listen, at the end of the day, I think this is a really good game with an awesome community, awesome champions. I like the strategy, and honestly, I like the direction that Plarium's taken this game over the last year. Could things be better? Absolutely, but I think a lot of things have gotten quite a bit better. I think a lot, especially new players, if you went back in time a few years, you'd be pretty shocked at all the things they've added to this game. I think it's the best in class, and I actually like this class. You know, I like this class of games, this genre of games. I'm probably the world's biggest sucker, but hey, it is what it is. Odds are you guys enjoy it too. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Raid. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing Raid. but you need to be armed with the information, and I need to do a better job shouldering a little bit of that responsibility. So guys, that's it. I'm not here to preach to anybody. Again, like, I hesitate even making this video because it feels preachy and hypocritical mixed together. But at the same time, again, I do feel, just given the nature of a game like this, you know, I've experienced a couple losses in Raid Shadow Legends lately. One of my clanmates, David, and one of my friends, Vince. Vince was one of the top spenders in the entire game. And it strikes me, not to be morbid and to end here, but it does strike me that, you know, all this time and money they spent on their Raid accounts, I wonder if they would have regretted it, you know, because now the reality is, you know, even our clan, we have David's account, you know, and it's just like, what should we do with it? You know, and he spent money, real life money on that. And I feel like, not to say, you know, maybe they didn't regret a penny of it, and that's totally cool, but I actually put myself in those shoes, you know, and it's like, it's not a question of can you afford it all the time. It's a question of, has things got a little bit out of control? Have I gone over my budget? And it could be a question of, how else could I have spent this money? And if the answer that you tell yourself after that is no, I'd like to spend it in Raid. This is what this is my passion. I love it and whatever. Then that's totally cool. You know, more power to you. But I just wanted to, again, make this video for the 10th time and just, you know, kind of go over some of maybe the obvious psychological tricks that all games like this, all pay to win mobile games, which are most of them, right, use. So guys, we'll end it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hearing me out. I appreciate you all, and I will stay to that promise that I made you guys from now on regarding shard opening videos and spending in the future. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.